Hey folks, 29th of August, 4 days left of the transfer window, and Jer here with some news that's floating around. Going to start transitioning away from transfer news as we get closer to the deadline, so we've got something to talk about when it's closed. There's a little bit, but there's not a lot. And there's some updates on some injuries, some details on Huang's situation, and a couple of players linked, and other players again who are starting to just go in different directions who are linked with Leeds. So we'll get on with it anyway, and we'll see where we go. Starting off with Dan James, according to Alan Nixon from The Sun. So again, take that with a very big pinch of salt, as we usually say when it refers to The Sun. Spurs have made a loan to buy option for Dan James. He's saying that Antonio Conte is very keen on getting James, but they're not willing to spend money initially and want a loan move. He's also saying that Leeds would prefer straight up cash for the player. Now, there's a couple of things in this I don't believe. One, it's the Sun, so I don't believe that. Two, I don't believe Leeds are looking to sell Dan James right now. That's my honest opinion. I think right now Leeds need strength and depth, especially if we don't bring anybody in this window. Letting a player go now, especially on loan, I don't see that happening at all. Unless it is, Leeds recoup the same amount of money they pay for the player and they can get a player in to replace him, which I don't know. We wait and see. Moving on to other stories that probably aren't true, and Mergim Berisha has been linked with Leeds again this morning. According to 90 Minutes, again, pinch of salt, probably not real. Jesse Marsh has told upper management that he wants the player. Berisha is not a goal machine. He's not known for his goals. He is known for his hold-up play and being a pretty decent forward. I won't say striker. And Marsh has told apparently the uppers that he wants to get the player in. Been linked a couple of times. There's nothing firm in this. He would cost Leeds anything between 2.5 million and 4.5 million. Not a big amount of money. If Leeds wanted him, they would have just gone and got him. So, I think you can probably try that one out with the garbage as well. Moving on to Cody Gakpo, some slight movement in the Gakpo situation. A lot of clubs been linked with Gakpo over the course of summer. Southampton have apparently already tabled a bid this weekend and has been rejected somewhere in the region of £15 million, and that's according to David Ornstein at The Athletic. So there's a source we can take with a bit more substance. There are lots of clubs interested in Gakpo. Leeds, Man United, Spurs, Everton are all said to be interested in the player as well. Again, as I said over the week, any player Leeds are linked with, Everton linked with. I think Frank Lampard's "we do scouting as well" comments a couple of years ago just seems to be whoever Leeds are linked with, we'll have a look at them as well and use other clubs' scouting networks to show up his own poor ability to scout players. But it's been interesting what Gakpo now. If there's a bid has gone in, that might kickstart teams into moving. He isn't going to play in European football this year with PSV because they're not in Europe, so that might help him move. Now Leeds aren't in Europe, but playing at a level in the Premier League would get him in the shop window. And as this stepping stone kind of moves, I've been muted with Leeds in the past. This could be a move for him to get himself in the shop window at a higher level and push for a bigger move in 2 or 3 years' time. An interesting one that popped up today in a position that I don't think we're flush with, but I wouldn't say no to another player, is Mohammed Kudus. Mohammed Kudus is a 22-year-old central midfielder who plays for Ajax. He has been linked with Everton, Leicester and Spurs as well. Has scored 6 goals in 47 appearances for Ajax. Ajax going through a huge revamping of their squad and about to get 100 million for Manchester United for Anthony, so that could help them again. Just rejuvenise the entire squad. It'd be a good move. This is coming from GhanaSoccerNet.com. I know. So, lots of pinches. But that could be the one. That could be the sneaky, the site that's closer to the player. Maybe they know a bit more about him. But I don't know. I don't see that. But I am aware of Mohammed Kudus. This guy's a good player. He's a very good central midfielder. And if we're looking to add more quality players to what we've got in midfield and options off the bench even, he could be a shrewd little signing. So, again, look, it's GhanaSoccerNet.com. It's probably not true, but I'm kind of glad that we're linked with that player because he has been floating around with Everton, been linked to him as well, and he looks like a tidy player. Moving away from transfers now and moving on to injuries and some confirmation from Jesse Marsh about the injuries that have come up. So Liam Cooper has suffered a minor calf injury, which is why he missed the weekend. Marsh said that it's normal, it's soft tissue again, to come back from these injuries and picking up these little niggles that happen. They just happen in sport. They do. But is not expected to miss more than another week probably, so he should be back on the bench by next week. So we'll wait and see how Cooper gets on. After Llorente's showing on Saturday, I think we could do getting Cooper back as quick as possible, or Sunday. Moving on to Patrick Bamford, and the injury that he picked up when he limped off was a adductor injury. Again, it's soft tissue stuff. It's in the areas where he is going to pick up injuries and has been prone to picking up these types of injuries. So we'll see what happens there. And I'm something I heard in the Phil Hay podcast that I didn't expect to hear. Luke Ayling is in the final year of his contract at Leeds, and there has been no move from Leeds thus far to extend that contract. That would be a player, if he left, that I would genuinely be sad to see go. Especially with the championship winning team, there's a lot of them kind of like, you understand they have to kind of drop off at some point. We have to move on. I still think there's life in Bill yet, though, even just from an experience perspective in the dressing room, especially with Leeds building this young squad gradually. I'll be reluctant to see Bill go, and I'm looking forward to seeing him come back because, as a lot of people have said, if you look at how we're playing under Marsh, I think he'd suit how we play under Marsh. I think he'd do really, really well there. Could do it getting him back. Good second option between him and Christensen can fight for that position, but I disappointed to see the Leeds aren't looking to extend his contract by a year at least anyway. It might happen after the window closes. On contracts, there has been rumours that Jack Harrison will be signing a new Leeds long-term contract after the window closes. Leeds are looking to get the transfer window out of the way before they move on to closing down contracts that are looking to expire. So Jack Harrison deal looking likely to happen into September. So, moving on to Hwang, and Phil Hay says that Leeds did have an interest in Hwang, but more from Jesse Marsh's perspective than Leeds' perspective. And he's also said that Leeds would be interested in the player, but not if the money was crazy. He's not a player that's kind of on the top of their list, but if he became available for a reasonably good price, Leeds would nip in and grab him. I don't think he did himself any favours with his performance yesterday. I think he showed why people have concerns about him coming to Leeds and why Wolves fans are keen to see him go. What he did say is if it came up with like a loan with an option, the Leeds would probably move for the player then, because it would give them time to have a look at him, see if he fits with the squad, and then they can either buy him or let him go back to Wolves at the end of the season once they have a good look at him. But as I said, poor yesterday, which doesn't help his cause if you're trying to get a move away from Wolves. So that's that one. And that's pretty much it for what's been floating around today. Personal opinions on this. 4 days to go, and it's gone very quiet. Like, real links have gone very quiet. I haven't given my personal opinions on this much, and I don't do ranting. I'd be getting a little concerned, though, at this point. I was starting to get a little bit concerned that wheels aren't moving. I still expect one surprise before the window closes. I hope they get that. I've tried to remain positive this year. It's getting tougher. I think everyone who's tried to stay positive this year is starting to feel it just tipping a little bit. Left back position, not only do we need a quality left back, I think the goal again against Brighton doesn't happen with a natural left back. I think Stroke gets pulled inside into a natural central position for him. I think a left back would hold his position to cover that better. I think we just need it for competition as well as anything else. Junior Firpo needs competition. I think Firpo will do well under Marsh, but I think he's still prone to injuries and still prone to suspensions. I think we need better cover there. And Stroke needs to be the cover for centre half, because I think right now on Llorente's form, I think Stroke goes in and plays centre half right now. But that's my personal opinion. Left back and striker, I don't know if we're seeing the end of Pat Bamford's time at Leeds. Are we getting to a stage where we need to replace him? I don't know, but it's moving to a point where he's not coming back from this injury quick enough. It's taking time, and I think Leeds need to move and get a proper striker at this stage. Not that Bamford's not a proper striker, but that we need someone that can come in and be the main player for the next 2-3 years' time. And Bamford's really struggling with this foot injury. I know a friend of mine has the similar foot injury, and he struggles with it big time. So it is a nasty injury that he's coming back from. He's picking up lots of niggles, which Adam Forshaw did last year as well. And if you look at Adam Forshaw as a model for this, Forshaw missed the bulk of last season through other injuries being picked up. So, I think Rob Price at Leeds should be telling Leeds, you maybe look at another player in. I think if we go into the deadline day without picking up one of those two positions, I think we're taking a massive gamble. What I'll do is, though, before the transfer window closes, I'll do a kind of a wrap-up of these are all the players that we're linked with. This is where they've gone. This is where we're short, and this is where we should have gone in. If you'd like me to do a video on deadline day or a live stream on deadline day, let me know. I will be doing something with the American and Leeds podcast. But if you'd like something done here, let me know. And what I might do is do a live stream closer to the window closing and talk about what's been going on. But if you want it, let me know in the comments. Just stick a yes or a no to live stream down in the comments. Let me know, and we'll do that. I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, picks up by tomorrow. See you then. Bye.